Hi everyone, this is Waldorf,
And this is Statler
and this is a battle report that we're going to do kind of a...
in tandem. You're going to talk and I'm going to make fun of you.
So what we're saying is just a normal day. All right, this is a game I had. This is the game one I had at Buckeye Battles versus the Vampire Covenant Army. This was a... I don't have a couple pictures before. If you saw the Buckeye Battle review we did, you'll see that these tables were set up with the dividers in between, so it was a hidden deployment.
So this was the hidden deployment game?
It was a hidden deployment game. You got bonus points for having... You got 1 bonus points for each of your nominated banners not being captured. And if you have 2 core units alive, not fleeing at the end of the game, you got another bonus point for that. And if your cheapest unit, non-character, survived the game, you got a bonus point for that. So there's a total of 20 battle points available, and another 25% of that total, 5 points available in bonus points in this scenario.
And with the hidden deployment, you could deploy all the way 12 inches in or 18 inches in?
Full side to side, 12 inches forward.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it was, and I did the normal thing. I was standing on the left-hand side of the table the whole time. Kind of fiddling with stuff in front of me that wasn't really there, and slipping units off to my right. And apparently he saw this and deployed his whole army to the left side. So when the board lifted up, I'm here in the bottom right corner, and he's in the top left. So
that's good for your war machines.
that's kind of what I was hoping. I wanted an extra round or two of shooting and magic and stuff to try to...
Yeah, I like the.
Thin him out a little
I like hidden deployment in games. It really, it changes the dynamic.
Yeah.
Kind of like to see if Ninth Age incorporates that in the future into one of the setup models.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, Fifth Edition. I don't remember of Warhammer used to do that. So you said this guy, unfortunately, you misplaced the army list.
Misplaced his army list
and forgetful.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
But he's got the big monstrous infantry unit up here, the big scary unit in the top left.
Right.
To the left of them is the soul swarms.
Right.
Behind them is a unit of zombies, which he's using as a mage bunker.
In a semi-conga line.
I
don't like him already.
You don't like what already?
I don't like the players. Got a conga line.
Okay.
Is that a Varkalak in the middle?
That is not a Varkalak. Those are 2 of the bats, giant bats.
Oh, okay.
Conga
line.
They are conga line to fit in there where they want to, although they don't need to be because there's plenty of space based on the base beside them.
Yes.
Then a unit of the Tomb Guard.
Mm-hmm.
In the back is another unit of zombies.
Right.
Just a big chunk of block taking up space.
Mm-hmm.
2 more bats. A large unit
I was
of...
playing those as bats, okay.
Yeah, the large bats.
Mm-hmm.
Large unit of ghouls with a Karn Wraith in the middle of them.
Okay.
Not in the middle, in the far
Right,
left,
I
just
see
in the
them
front
there.
corner.
And 2 dog darts.
And 2 dog darts.
I've heard of rat darts, but these are dog darts.
These are dog darts.
Okay.
Unfortunately, again, we were kind of rushed getting things started, so I don't have a opening picture. We've already done our vanguards at this point.
Right, so those are your spiders.
And actually...
Those aren't his.
Those aren't his.
Yeah.
And we've actually done my first round movement, and it looks like probably shooting as well, because I see one of his dogs missing on the far left.
You recall what his characters were by any chance, besides the Wraith?
He had a level 4 character, level 4 mage in Undeath. He had a decent vampire, no Red Fury guy, kind of toned down, not really beefed up characters from what I recall.
Okay.
No BSB, not really the kind of army that needs them.
So he's really relying on his monstrous infantry to be his power lifters.
His monstrous infantry are his really big hammer.
Mm-hmm.
The ghouls as well that's a tough unit, tough 4, a lot of poison attacks.
Yeah, but it's not going to stand up to powerful stuff.
Shouldn't.
Or armored stuff.
We'll go with shouldn't.
Yeah. Okay.
And on my side, I had to nominate 3 banners to save. I had a good idea my orc block was going to get pounded on.
Mm-hmm.
So we did the goblins and the 2 orc boar units off to the far right.
I see.
What's not shown in this picture is, because they scouted, the grotling. I had 2 bases of grotlings, which was my cheapest unit.
Right.
So to keep it alive, I scouted when it came to scouting. I placed them in the far top corner.
Okay.
And just kind of hung her out there, in that area most of the game.
And then
because they weren't going to do anything for me.
Your
in this
general's
game.
name is Von Blurry.
But Von Blurry.
Orc Von Blurry.
Orc Von Blurry, yes. He's there in this big orc block, Ed Basher block. And you'll see my list in my
right. I see 2 war machines.
2 war machines. There's a 3rd one to the left.
Far left,
I think.
Okay.
We'll see in a minute. It may be to the far right. And there's kind of an overhead shot after the first turn. You can see I just moved up a little bit, just kind of get the angle off. There's the grotlings I was talking about on the far right. They're just kind of hanging out, making sure nobody comes after them. If they do, I've got the 2 boar units there to hopefully clean up something small coming after them. Another picture of this. And after mighty first round of shooting, I managed to do almost nothing. Dinged up I killed a dog. Pretty proud of that.
Killed dog, yeah. And you have a great idol of mineral water over here.
I've got that. It's very important. So on his turn, he moves forward. This is an impassable piece of terrain there in the middle, but of course the
bats flew over it.
The bats flew over it. These other guys just walked right through it.
The guy walked around. Okay.
So he's coming at you. He's coming at me very quickly, as fast as he can.
He actually flew into the woods with some of the bats.
Flew into the woods, took a dangerous rain, didn't get hurt. Just, like I said, wanted to get there as quick as he could. Is what he's looking for. Odd thing he did do is he turned the ghouls. You can see the ghouls have turned a face on the
spiders.
On the spiders.
He's afraid of spiders.
I was not real sure what this was for, but the other thing you cannot see in this picture is he did close them up with the zombies up on top of that. There's only like a 2-inch gap, so I cannot run my guys through there.
I see. So he's trying to
slightly less than a 2-inch gap.
So he's trying to block it from getting behind him.
So he makes sure I don't want to run through because he doesn't want those spiders are fairly harmless to his army, but he does not want them to hit the flank of this bus over here for his bunker.
Sure.
The zombie bunker bus. So I mean, even 5 spider riders could do some damage.
Or even an assassination run is no fun.
Correct, and start causing him problems. There's a better picture of that where he's made sure he's blocked them off. And he's moved up, and zombies came over to challenge my spider riders. We might eventually win that fight, but there's no reason for me to do it.
Yeah, maybe not.
And we go to turn 2. You can see I've moved up a little bit further, just kind of forming a battle line. One of the units of boar riders has hopped the fence just to get over there in case something
So what's your
happens.
thoughts? Are you trying to just whittle him down with shooting?
I'm trying to whittle him down with shooting and magic and get him thinned out to where I can actually do something to him. And you can see my other
there it is there. Yeah.
Doom Divers over there in the far corner. So yeah, just trying to thin him down. These 2 units of boar riders are not going to do much unless they can get into a unit of zombies, which he's probably not going to let happen. So they're worth bonus points to me, so I'm just keeping them alive off to the right, since they're not going to be providing a offensive bonus for them to me. I just kept them over there. Spider Riders made somehow made their leadership check to march and just increase the distance. I was, based on this first move when he turned to face me, I was actually kind of hoping he would just move towards me with those ghouls.
Right.
But no such luck. He's a much better player than that. So then again, full march forward, fast as he can. He's right in my face now.
Yeah.
And as you noticed, with that fast move now, and because he fast moved and did the spell that moves everyone within 12 inches.
Right.
So basically, he moved twice during this turn.
Okay.
Got right in my face. We could see my spider down here on the bottom left. It's kind of hemmed in now. I've got really nowhere to go with it. I've done 2 wounds to his ghost swarms there. Nothing major.
Right.
And that's about it. You can see nothing's really been whittling anything down like I was hoping for by
Sure.
bottom of turn 2.
Yeah, it's also tough with these guys because they can usually grow it back.
They can. And his conga line that you don't like is getting larger and larger.
Yeah, I
by
see
the way.
that. Soon it's going to be touching the back of the board.
Yes, that was my plan actually.
Yeah.
I figured if I let it grow big enough, could not grow anymore.
That's good. That's a good plan.
So you can see me down here, also down in the bottom left. You can see where his 2 bats have jumped down here to threaten war machines.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can tell, but here on this war machine, these are a double wound counter, so it's taken 2 wounds already, and nothing's been shooting at it. And it does happen to be facing the wrong way at the moment, so this one's misfired more than once.
Always helpful.
Always helpful. Misfired in both turns, actually. It's a rock lobber, so there's not a lot it was going to do a lot of damage to.
And what have you been targeting with your ordnance?
The Doom Divers were both thumping on the big monstrous infantry unit because I wanted to get them cut down, and I cannot hit them. It's just one of those bad artillery days.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, they're Doom Divers. It's almost like an auto hit.
It's 80%. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, not a good day.
And your rock lobber.
My rock lobber misfired and took a wound on the first round.
Yeah.
And then re-rolled and got the whatever.
Right.
And as you can see, it's misfired and taken another wound.
Yeah.
So, not doing great. But it hasn't blown up.
There is that.
It's got that going for it. Turn 3. I got nowhere else to go, so I thought I would throw both these in here. Hope to do a lot of wounds. Hope him. I've got the spider has 20 attacks and thunderstomp.
And you have a character on the top.
Well, that's included in the 20, but
right.
He's got 20 attacks. Unfortunately, the guy doesn't have a magic weapon.
Oh, okay.
So the first change is he's getting the rending sword.
Yeah.
Which is 5. It's a 5-point item basically to trade in his great weapon for a rending sword because of this.
Right.
So anyway, but I'm dealing out 20 attacks in thunderstomp. I've got the impact hits from the charge, 5 attacks from the chariot. I'm just hoping to do some wounds and punish some stuff and cause some break tests. I mean, not cause, but crumble them down and get through.
Down, yeah. It's going to take a while.
But as you can see,
yeah.
I don't know if you noticed the 2 wounds on him before. Well, now there's 3.
Yeah.
And that's what 20 attacks, close to 30 attacks will get for you.
Sure.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, 15 of those would hit, and probably 10 of those a wound, and he'll save. You're only going to get 1 or 2 a turn.
Yeah. But I mean, the spider, a lot of the parts on the spider are hitting on 3s, not 4s.
That's true.
And the thunderstomps are auto hits. The impact hits are auto hits. Anyway,
yeah.
I was hoping for more.
Right.
I was really hoping to do 4 or 5 wounds.
Yeah. Well, at least he's clogged up too.
And thumb down. And I'm like, okay, well, at least I got that going for me. He's clogged up. As you can see, there's the mess of this whole thing.
He's chapped you up on the other side.
He's chapped me up on the other side with spider raiders can't go. I mean, the Gnasher herd can't do anything. My hoppers over here on the right are sitting back. You can see my spiders up here on the left, just on the right, just kind of harassing fire, shooting at him.
Right.
I did make sure that they were in arc.
Yeah.
They are in his arc, so
if he wants to charge me, he can.
if he wants to charge me, he's welcome to come charge him
and
move his base move for the rest of the game.
And your Gnashers are being held back.
And my Gnashers are just being
and
held
this
back.
Lake thing, is it passable or a swamp?
It's passable, but it's a water feature.
Okay.
And I made an excellent choice of deploying behind it because my idea was I can make him come to me, and if he sits in there, you get no rank bonus for it.
Right. But he has to come to you.
But he has to come to me for that, which I don't
feature.
matter. But you'll see later on that wasn't quite a great idea. So on his turn, I thought I was fairly safe. Let's back up a picture or two with my goblins over here, because you can see how deep this unit of flying monstrous infantry guys are.
Right.
He can't fit in there, correct? Because he's too deep. Well, I had a grave miscalculation, because if he flies over and clips the corner, he's got room for the second guy over there beside the Gnasher herd.
Okay.
So this was really good for me. Luckily, the only thing positive out of this whole situation was
only one's fighting.
the only one's fighting me, and that's my BSB there on the corner, by the way.
Right. Okay.
And this bat came flying in as well, so it didn't go into my war machines. It went into this unit as well. So.
And he charged your Nashers with.
And he charged the Nashers with his ghouls and his dogs. He had to get the dogs because he was kind of trapped behind them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he had no other choice to do that. And as you can see, also the other good news for me in this video, in this picture, is the ghosts. You notice there are no more wound markers there.
Yes.
Just thought I'd point that out. So there's another shot of that mess happening. Just ugliness. And another kind of angle on that one, I guess. Not see anything really different than that. Oh, this is after the combat.
This is after the combat.
So after the combat, my Nashers have done some damage. They've knocked the dogs down to 1.
What did he do in his magic phase?
His magic phase, he was mainly concentrating on raising stuff.
Okay.
You can see I have killed off. He killed my BSB.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be missing from that picture. And he did do the, he's reformed. He still has 3 wounds on him. I did no wounds.
Mm-hmm.
He has reformed and put the other monstrous infantry way out there into the swamp. My savage,
and he scooted over.
And he scooted over as much as, maximize as much as he could with his trolls.
The trolls being in the way, yeah.
Trying to block him. I've got my head bashers there now. The problem now is I have to go in and I'm going to be in the swamp.
Right.
So it was a great plan if I was planning on him winning. Right?
Well, it's good to be magnanimous that way.
It is, especially on the first game. I think when you go into a tournament, you be nice. You throw your first game, helps things.
Well, it's always good to go for that sportsmanship score.
Another round of combat, and you can see I've managed to kill the ghost swarms, and got another couple wounds on another
extra
one.
Wounds, yeah.
Things are looking up for the big spider.
And your Nashers are still. What did you do with your magic on this turn?
Magic on this turn, my magic was fairly ineffective this whole game. Just nothing was really working for me. It was just a bad game. You can see my troll over here on the top right. He's just kind of redeployed, looking at what he's going to do.
And your Nashers are kind of coming up a little bit.
Nashers are coming up a little bit, getting position. I'm hoping, I don't want to throw him into the flank of this ghoul unit, but at this point, I'm starting to consider I might.
Right.
Especially considering he reformed his block of the Barrow Guard, to come around the other side towards the spider.
Yeah,
which was a benefit to me. I was happy with that.
They're kind of clogged up back there right now.
Either way, they're kind of clogged up. And turn 4, things moving along. A nice blurry picture that I'm not thrilled with, but
Orc Von Blurry has returned. Yeah.
Orc Von Blurry. You can see my orcs have joined the fray. Both my trolls have also joined in each corner.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens with that.
But you didn't send your Nashers in.
The Nashers could not get in. Oh, the only place they could have got was on the ghouls.
Okay.
And I decided not to do that. So there we are. Big mess. Through all this, Spider did a couple more wounds, still chugging along, trying to keep in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Between his and my turn, I've got this guy down to 1 now. Look at that.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Spider's down to 2 bases of swarms in front of it, looks like, and off the ghouls have cleaned up my.
Did you use your normal attacks on your trolls, or did you use your spit attacks?
The trolls use their normal attacks.
Okay. So and the flank combat res and charge. So
flank combat res, charge. Even though the orcs, since they're in the water feature, did not get rank bonus, the goblins are still there to provide the rank bonus.
Doesn't look like he's caused you many casualties.
He's not been causing a lot of casualties.
That's rather surprising. It's bad dice.
Which is good. It's bad dice, and he was trying to clean up the trolls.
I see.
And as you can see, did not do well.
Right.
So chopping away,
and
having a good time.
Trimming down more ghosts.
Yeah, and there's a little mark across the screen as he's lasering in to see if he could see my orcs, and could not. and more ghosts are showing back up on his turn, of
Yep.
course.
And
And he grows back another monstrous infantry, and
Yep.
he can't go sideways, so he has to
because
go
you're
behind.
sitting
him.
there, so stacking them up.
And I'm looking at this, and I was like, that's not completely bad news, as now his
Mm-hmm.
Tomb Guard as well can't get past it.
And he's brought his Tomb Guard around a bit, but he's
Yeah.
blocked him in by raising that unit.
Blocked him in by raising him back up, and
Mm-hmm.
the ghouls have made a long charge into my Nasher hoppers,
Hmm.
the Nasher Dasher unit.
Right.
Not real thrilled with that either.
When they
That's
charge
what
to
I'm
get
saying.
impact hits.
The Nasher Dashers,
Yeah.
yes, but if they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So I went with the don't charge
Yeah, very,
option.
being very magnanimous again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just try to help. So, and it was a funny charge. He actually charged his dogs past my spiders.
And
The big wheel went in and then
closed the
wheeled back
door,
in, closed
yeah.
the door onto the orcs. Looks funny that he would be able to do that, but
Sure.
just that odd situation where it
Huh.
worked. I do not know why he did this. I didn't ask him. I'm assuming he just went in. The dogs were pretty much no use anymore, and he figured he was just trying to get rid of one of my scoring units to knock down the bonus points,
Sure. Well, then bonus required what again? The standard and what else?
keeping my 3 standards alive, and
Any minimum size?
keeping my smallest. No minimum size. He had to
Okay.
kill him. He's just going for a hope, I think here.
Yeah, that's kind of a hope, definitely.
But I mean,
Hoping-
what's he giving up 50 points to try?
Yeah, we'll tie you up too potentially, and you're not so strong on when you're not charging.
That's correct. So there's a much cleaner picture of that. You can
Mhm.
see my grotlings still hanging out on the
Yeah,
board
yeah.
edge. They're worth a point if I can keep my lowest point cost guy alive. And another overall picture of the middle of the battle line.
Looks like we're fighting the same fight. Okay.
Yeah, still the same fight. And we're fighting, and I'm not sure what's changing here. So, over on the right, I'm pointing. That's funny.
The-
The spiders are fleeing.
The orcs lost.
The orcs won. The spiders happened to be within 6 of the Nasher herd
Oh, okay.
when it
And he got-
died, and you
yeah,
can see him
I see
reforming
them
his ghouls over here
Reforming
on
the
the right.
ghouls on his. Yeah.
So the spiders, of course, are fleeing towards the middle of the table where they
Right.
belong. There's the Nasher gone. Just took that picture kind of mid-battle.
And the orcs are still there.
There's the orcs.
And they did their job though.
He charged in. The orcs did 2 wounds and a banner, and
Then in your turn, you.
win by 2 and dropped him down to 1.
Oh, okay. Crumple them.
Turn 5. This fight's still going on forever.
Yeah.
Every time I think I'm doing well, put a couple wounds on this. That is the general of my army there
Right.
with 4 strength 5 attacks and with no armor saves, and just not hurting anyone.
Mm.
I was kind of excited about this build, but it just didn't work out for me. The spider. This is the last picture I got during this one because time was starting to draw short. They came over and gave us the warning, and we were only on turn 5.
Okay.
So put the camera down, started started paying a little bit more attention. The spider finally did clear off this ghost thing down here on the left. Oddly, my 3 wound war machine over here managed to fight off the bats that are on it. Those bullies are awesome, I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
The overseer. Then what happened on his turn 5, this unit, you can just see the bottom of the base up here on the top. That's the ghouls still. The ghouls came charging into my flank
Flank
of the orcs.
The orcs. Okay.
This
Good through the water.
They got to go through the water, but there's no penalty for
Yeah.
going through water other than you lose your rank and you can't march.
Yeah.
This unit of Barrow Guard charged into my troll. I'm sorry, this is on turn 6. The unit of Barrow Guard charged into my troll in the flank, and they charged in the other flank. We do the combat. He kills off the troll, but since it's all one combat, at the end of the combat, he's going to get the overrun into the goblins.
Right.
But those attacks won't be able to go to the goblins.
Right.
So he killed off the troll, did 3 wounds there. He came into the orcs, did a few wounds, not many. Of course, this big monstrous infantry beastie did stuff. I finished the monstrous infantry guy off. All told, this combat I lost by 1. So I'm down by 1. I don't have a BSB. I do have the standard discipline in there, but he's got the somehow he still had fear on me.
So the guard coming into your troll, that would have, if you wiped him out, that would have been a separate combat, right?
It breaks it into a separate combat, so it doesn't get the ranks for this unit.
Right.
It doesn't get the charge for this unit.
But you still lost on wounds.
But I lost on wounds because those ghouls coming into the flank and this big monstrosity thing did well, and the 3 wounds from the troll also counted.
Right.
So I lost, but it came up. I lost the combat by 1. I lost the combat by 1. Actually, I guess I didn't have fear on me at that point, but I lost the combat only by 1. I'm leadership 10, so I need a 9 to stick, and I rolled a 10. I missed the. So I lost the combat by 1, and then I missed the roll by 1.
Oh, he killed your battle standard with
the battle standard was dead a couple turns
from the
ago.
monster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, the so he crushed out this whole unit here, which is by the way, it's a 368 point unit just for the unit itself.
Right.
250 point general in there. There's on the other side of it is the little Goblin King with a wizarding hood is in there. He's another 150 points.
He wasn't with your goblins. He was with the orcs.
He was with the orcs this time. So 250. It's 900 plus the general adds another 100 to this. So the 1,000 point swing on this final turn by 1 point, and thus we come to the scoring.
Yeah.
And 1,000 point victory, the 1,000 point difference.
14.
Made it was just under 1,000 points that he won by. He won by, as a matter of fact, I have it here. He scored 1,697. I scored 726. So he ended up winning by just under 1,000 points. He won the game by 900 and some points. Again, without that one, it goes down to a draw.
Right.
And on their scoring system, as you can see, the 759.99 was a 13.8. 13.8. He managed 4 bonus points. Because I did send those troops up there, and they probably would have been, I don't know if they would have helped much in diverting, but maybe they would have. But I got 5 bonus points out of that. So it ended up with despite a 1,000 point loss, it was a 17-13 game for my first round. And that has to do with this scoring system more than anything.
Right.
And this is kind of what we talked about earlier with the scoring system. It starts at 10. It goes up by 1 every level, but down by 1 every other level.
Right.
So,
again,
bad.
And the extra points for the bonus is helpful too.
And there was 5 bonus points.
Because you're basically having 2 additional points on top of the maximum for the standard victory conditions of 17 plus 3 to 20, and this is 20 plus 5. So
yes.
And then you're getting the full 20 for battle. So
yeah,
interesting.
So, but that was my first game. It was interesting. Like I said, easily made some mistakes in there. That swamp, even though it thought it was going to, it didn't hurt me. If I wasn't going to charge in those the Nasher Dashers, I should have at least made sure they were not in a place where after he charged them, he could reform and then come right back into my big unit.
Yeah, that probably was
that was the game breaker for me.
The critical thing there.
Yes.
And you always got to watch those terrain features too. You think they're going to help you, but they don't always. I mean, and then I don't think it hurt you too much because your goblins were there. But,
no.
But
then when I look back at this battle, based on their pointing system, had that other battle been different, and if I would have stuck even at the end, all that would have given me was 2 more battle points.
Right.
It would have brought him down by 3, but it would have given me only +2. So I mean, it was a bad move. It was dumb. It really only cost me 2 points.
Right. But it looked like you could outfight all of those units except for the monstrous infantry.
I could. And the one unit I fought was the monstrous infantry.
Yeah.
My spider, which I think would have done very good against almost anything he had.
Right.
The Monstrous Infantry were strength 6, so
Mhm.
I mean they were going to put a pounding on the spider if they
Yeah,
got
no,
hold of it.
they're powerful. There's no
Um,
question about that. That's definitely what he was relying on.
But the spider, who could have done a lot for me, got hung up on this ghost unit and spent the whole game clearing it.
Right,
So he did clear it by the end of the game, but
but it was too late.
it's way too late, and there's not enough points there.
Yeah.
I do, if I'm going to run that spider again as it is, he does need a magic weapon. It's things you learn.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, things looked good on paper.
Yeah, even the orcs could pretty much fight everything he had, except for the monsters infantry.
Correct.
Yeah.
And again, that's the one unit I got tied up with, and the zombies in my flank didn't help matters.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not zombies. The what are they? The ghouls.
Right.
The ghouls when they hit the flank. pretty much
So
ended it.
instead of swinging back, you could have actually gone after him and tried to done the close the door thing and try to hit him
instead of hanging back,
instead of hanging
just
back,
moving
right,
forward.
Yeah, and then tie
Probably a
up
good point.
his flyers with something else. So
Well,
not that they're easy to tie up, but
it's hard to tie up flyers.
we have to sacrifice stuff. So,
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I didn't get a lot of points out of him. Got like 726 out of him. But with the bonus points, it made it into
Sure.
at least a decent opening. I'm not, I'm sitting at a decent point at
Right.
13.
So you're not, even though it didn't game like you wanted to, you're still in the tournament at this point in time.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct. All right. Anyway, that's it.